Hey guys, thanks for clicking on our episode. And you're wondering, well, why you're hearing Isaac's dumb voice at the start of this thing. I'll tell you why. Surprise, surprise, spoiler alert, we have 2 extra guests on our show, which meant that we had to have some extra microphones, that we had to use some other kind of technology that Rudy conjured up. And because of that, it doesn't sound like the usual great quality stuff that you listen to.
We got a little toasted, and I was a little overconfident with my ability to work in new equipment without really testing it out first. So it shows, and I apologize for that.
Our apologies. We're working on it. But it's still a fun little episode if you listen past that stuff. So Thank you again for listening. Rate and review. Just don't comment on the quality of the stuff. We are aware.
You can absolutely jump in my DMs and tell me I suck, and I will.
Rogue got one.
I'll lash myself on camera for you.
So thank you guys, and here's the episode.
Hey guys, welcome to the Hype Attack Podcast,
where we weigh in on the latest in nerd and pop culture hype.
We are there.
We're the excited conversation we all have with our friends
about the nerdy things we love
and geek about.
We are the Hype Attack. I am the hype.
Hey guys, welcome back to another brand new episode of the Hype Attack Podcast. With us today are some special guests that we hold near and dear to our hearts and beds. With us are the regular cast, Doug, Jermaine, and Rudy.
Hey, what's up?
What up?
And also with us is Rudy and I's wife. We don't share. Respectively, it's Elva, my wife.
Hello.
And Rachel.
Rachel.
Hey.
Say hi to the camera. You're on camera.
Oh. Hi, cameras.
So we just came back from celebrating Rudy's birthday. Hurrah, cheers.
Yay. Sorry, I don't have the applause queued up, or else I would have thrown it up there.
We'll do it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hooray!
You're special to us.
How old are you turning, Rudy? Do you want to tell people?
I am 43, going on 44.
Do you have to think about that for a second?
I do. Like, sometimes I have to stop and count on my toes and like, holy shit, how old am I? Like, for a while I was 41, and I'm like, oh no, shit, I'm 43. So.
Right, 43.
Yeah.
At a certain point, no one's ever getting like excited about it, no?
Oh no, yeah, I stopped looking forward to birthdays like 10 years ago.
Yeah, just reason to drink and then move the hell along.
Yeah, Rachel always wants to throw me a party or like do something. I'm like, I don't want to celebrate another year closer to death.
No, I'm the same.
Tell me you don't have fun every year.
I mean, I do when I take the reins and be like, okay, this is what we're doing.
Rude.
Do you guys have any sort of like birthday? Like I have to do this by the time I turn 45.
Are you talking like a bucket list
Yeah.
kind of thing? Like things to do before you turn 30?
Yeah, bucket list, not like before I die, but before a certain age.
No.
Okay.
I don't like to constrain myself to a timeline. I'll fucking get to it when I get to it, right?
No, I'm with you.
He tells me that all the time. I'll fucking get to it.
The goal is to just survive now.
Yeah?
Survive. Jermaine, survive.
And the way that we survive is by keeping each other and ourselves, and I'm looking at you, Doug, each other busy.
And hard.
So we're going to go around the table and make it quick. How did everybody nerd? Douglas.
Last episode I mentioned that I signed up for a Blood Bowl tournament, and part of my quote-unquote training for that is to go play more games. So I drove out to Monrovia, which is where the Warhammer Cafe is, and I played a game of Blood Bowl, and I won. Kicked the shit out of it.
Hey!
Huzzah.
I knew you would. Congratulations.
There's probably more nerding out, but I'll say it.
Yeah, this is, not to like tell behind the scenes, but this is like a double episode. We weren't able to record the previous week, but we're going to get to it to serve you, listeners, a brand new episode of the Hype Attack Podcast. Rachel, how did you nerd?
Yesterday, Rudy and I went to Disneyland to see the World of Color 1. We've been wanting to go for quite a while, but you have to, if you want to get a decent standing room, you have to get there by noon to get in the virtual queue. So
Didn't they change it from like the first time that they started it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
It used
we
to be able to
finally had the same day off, so we could go at the same time and get in the
Did
queue.
you cry? Was there emotional parts in it?
Rudy cried more than me because he cried for the Star Wars because he has that passion. For me, it was just being in that moment.
Right
like I
off.
had an overwhelming moment of like, this is magic, this is joy, and I'm lucky to be experiencing this, and that was my tears.
Nice.
I'm gonna say I did tear up on that shit, but just during the Star Wars section of it. And that shit was fucking awesome. They did my boy Luke properly with that little section of it. So
How often do they update the World of Color?
I think this one was this year for the 100-year anniversary of Walt's birthday or whatever the hell it is. So I think after this year they'll probably either go back to the one they did before or they'll update it again. But that one changes pretty regularly.
Well, they throw in those little messages from Walt, and it just like adds in that magic touch at the end. That's just so sentimental.
From Walt himself, so it's like a lot of like anti-Semitic remarks.
There it is.
Jermaine, how'd you nerd?
I didn't nerd out like too hard.
Shame.
I just finished that money
Uncanny?
that Money Heist Korea.
Oh,
No, the Uncanny's still going. Like I think new episodes drop Saturdays and Sundays. Yeah. The Money Heist Korea, like we finished that. I think it was like 12 episodes total. My review for that thing, like it's a pretty good show. It's pretty slick in the way that they go about telling the story. Like when things happen, you have a dramatic moment, and then when the next episode hit, you'll kind of go back and get like a little bit of backstory where you think something happens because you visually kind of saw it or you heard it, but then they go back and it's something totally different that they just wove in there. And the way that the story is done, it's clever. I will say that, like, it's a pretty clever story the way they stitch everything together. But in the end, like, it has like a nice payoff. It's a very good series.
would you suggest people check it out?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's
like if you
on-
like all that stuff, like if you like, heist movies, if you like the way the story is clever, and it has like a mix of like the way they tell, or like if you would watch anime stuff, like the way they come back to certain things. Like for instance, I will give you an example of something that happened. So somebody's shot and you hear the gunshot. And then you come back and you're like, oh, this person's dead, or whatever. And then they go back into the story and they kind of tell it from a different angle. But you see the first gunshot, but then you realize that there was two gunshots. So it's one of those things, the way that the story is told, it's done very, very cleverly. So it amps the story a little bit better.
So definitely like a type of story or type of storytelling that you have to pay attention to it.
Yeah, you definitely have to pay attention. Like, it's one of those that I would recommend you put your phone down and just watch it. But it's also...
You gotta pay attention to stuff.
Ew.
But also, it's one of those two where you have to give it the 3 episodes. And then once it gets past that, like, it gets pretty interesting.
Is it connected to the Spanish Money Heist?
I don't think so. I think it's their own version, so that's why I think it's Money Heist Korea, and then you have the other one because I do want to watch the other one.
I think my brother watched all that.
But it's like 5 parts, but each part is like its own season. Okay. So there's probably like about 10 episodes. In the Spanish one, though, the Korea one only has 12 episodes. But it's pretty slick. Like, I like the way they told the story.
I'll add it to my growing list. Rudy, how did you nerd?
The same as I did with my wife. That's why I jumped in on that one. Cute motherfucker.
No more to add to that then?
Not really.
Was she telling the story in a wrong way?
What? No, what did we do last weekend? Yeah, not a whole lot of nerding, just a whole lot of...
Oh, that's when me and Elva went to the Arboretum.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the Casey Fullerton Arboretum.
Yeah.
It's such a cool spot.
It was nice. It was a little hot, but it was nice.
Elva, how did you nerd?
I went to Universal and did the whole Super Mario World. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
How was that?
It was good. I really enjoyed it. I'm not really much of a Mario fan.
Get out.
But going into there, I was just like, what is going on? I'm already loving it. the colors, just like the attention to detail, and I don't know, I just really liked it.
Is it one of those places that you visit and you're like, I would come back, or is it just one like I seen it?
One and done.
No, you can go back because there's a lot of things that you're kind of missing out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too because Universal has a lot of those like 3D motion rides where I'm like, I don't really need this, but I'd go back for Harry Potter area, and obviously I still want to see the Mario.
Yeah, how was that ride? The Mario one.
Oh, it was so good. They even give you like a Mario hat to wear so it connects the goggles. You have to
I'm at
move
full
your
mast.
head around as you're driving this little cart so you can get all these, like, throw these shells at things. So it's kind of like the Toy Story one in a way.
Is it like the 3D glasses or is it the VR?
It's not VR, it's AR. Yeah,
Augmented reality.
it's really cool.
Which I think AR deserves more attention than VR does. So at this point, we've had Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars Land, Hogwarts at the Universal Studios, and now the Mario World. Have you guys been like pretty impressed or like taken to the other world with these kind of thematic things?
I mean, I haven't gone to a lot of theme parks. In fact, Alba and her dad had invited me out to go. They originally had it planned as a dad and daughter day, and then I was sort of an afterthought.
As per usual.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm done with theme parks, but
So what's different?
oh man, God, I don't want to talk no more. But the times that I went, like to Universal or Avengers Campus. Like it doesn't count. I didn't feel like any kind of
The fresh one. Fuck right off.
The one that I wanted to experience, though, and I never got a chance. I think we talked about it in an episode or two ago. Was the Star Wars?
You've been to Star Wars area.
The Star Wars land, but not the Rebel Run. It's
The Rise of the Resistance.
Oh, Rise of the Resistance. That's rad, right?
yeah.
That's such a cool ride.
I just never got. We didn't hit the button fast enough. I guess I was like a 0.1 millisecond off.
Yeah.
And so we didn't get a chance to do it. And I'm kind of over the theme parks, but the Harry Potter ride, like, and I felt like I was in the magical world of Harry Potter with that one.
Yeah, the Harry Potter ride, or the zone area, I don't know what they call them.
The Wizarding World.
Land.
Yeah, Jesus. I, not being a huge Harry Potter fan, when I went to Universal Studios and I walked in that area, I was just like, oh man, I wish I was. Like, because it's super cool. Like, they did it really well. With like, and I think that world worked really well with that idea of bringing it to the theme park because you had the shops, right? Like, I mean, that's the main thing.
Well, and also like casting the spell.
Diagon Alley?
Diagon Alley.
That's Diagon Alley.
It's kind of cool too because the Universal is different. It's completely different than the one in Hollywood.
Oh,
So it's like a different area of the Harry
But-
Potter.
If we're talking about thematic things, like one really cool one that used to be in Las Vegas was the Star Trek experience.
He did it! He did it at the top of the fucking show! God. How?
Seriously.
Did we take shots for that?
No.
There used to be,
More drunk than we usually are.
There used to be a Star Trek experience at the Hilton on the Strip, and it was super cool. Like you can go to a bar, and there'd be an alien taking your order, and you'd be like, "I'll take a Cardassian ale," and yeah, just try to drink it
flex
with
it
the
in.
biggest nerd boner ever.
Doug, I think that's just you.
Absolutely. I failed. It was just me. I was trying to order as much as I could, but everyone was uncomfortable.
Beautiful.
Hey, I like the one we went to in LA. Wasn't that for Picard?
Oh, yeah.
That one was cool.
There was a little pop-up that they did 10 Forward. And they like legitimately recreated 10 Forward.
Yeah, that was the shit.
That was super cool. Yeah. Again, hard the whole time. I
Glad
had
I
to crop
didn't
my
say
photos. Yeah.
How did you nerd this weekend?
Thank you for asking me. I have an insecurity problem.
And you posted some Instagram.
That's basically what I did. Yeah. Man. Hey, man. You're always covering Star Trek and board games and stuff. Listen. You know what? I'm not gonna. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'm not going to cover what I was going to talk about because what I did was
'Cause you
what
can see
we
on his
all
Instagram.
do is that, yeah, it's exactly that, is that we all have our hobbies, and that's let's move it along. That's what we're going to cover today. Is hobbies.
Dan and Dave
Get your
went to a
foot off.
Shrek rave last night
A Shrek rave?
at the House of Blues.
I have actually seen other people that have gone
Apparently it's
there. Yeah.
viral. And
A Shrek rave?
yeah, Dan messaged me like last night, you want to go to a Shrek rave? I was like, no, I'm going to Vegas. Dave's still home. And so yeah, they went to a Shrek rave.
That's why he's tired.
That's why that green mesh shirt was laying around.
The donkey condoms.
Did he meet his Fiona?
I mean, I'm sure there was some trolls there, but probably not.
Trolls. Ogres, babe. Ogres.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's the same shit, huh? D&D, ogres and trolls.
I wouldn't know.
Not the same. One of them's got a D12 and one of them's got a D10.
Lord, why did you start him up?
Why'd
you start
it?
him?
I couldn't help it.
Yeah, I'm going to use that. Yeah, high five. I'm going to use that as a segue for hobbies. So let's start with you, Doug. I want to know what everyone does because we kind of talk about it as the episodes go along, but we usually have like a particular topic. We know that we're nerds, but we know from like episode 1 when we introduced ourselves, we have our different niches or what do you call them? Somebody call them totems, right? That we are all interested in. Some people like watching anime. Some people go hiking. Other people do archery, bondage, S&M, and bondage shit.
Totems.
Other people do archery. Doug, just Doug.
Just Doug. I can't think of anyone else's hobbies, but that's why I wanted this to be a sort of getting to know you episode. You know, as far as the things that we do on our alone time. I want to start with Doug because
We can take shots.
do you want to?
I know, mine's sitting here waiting.
But yeah, this is
Oh, have at it. I'm okay.
Hypertech shot.
Yeah, no, let's start with me. Hobbies, drinking.
Yeah.
Generally anything to forget the real world. Whatever I can do to just escape IRL. So like drinking, games.
IRL. You
Wow.
fucking nerd. I know what it means.
See,
But-
I can tell who hasn't listened to the
Did
podcast.
it wound you that much to say it in real life? Like,
We call it the
you
Earl.
had to-
Yeah, I can tell who hasn't listened to our shows because that's been used often. The IRL.
I still
You just
think
outed
it's
yourself.
like you might as well just say a
So
little.
now I need 2 shots to
forget that. Put down.
Gee, I may be a bit behind, but I've still listened to a podcast.
Douglas, I want to start with your hobbies because you have a plethora. I want to say it's safe to say it's a plethora of hobbies.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you always like go look at this thing, and look at that thing,
Yeah.
and look at this thing. I'm like, dude, pull it up.
Yeah, so coincidentally enough, Warhammer official threads, the new Twitter, fuck Twitter, they had posted something and I had responded with like, oh, the ability to talk nonstop, constantly about whichever new hobby has picked up their fancy. Much better. Because that's me. That's me. And I would, if I were to describe my hobbies, and I don't want to repeat, because I think episode 1, we kind of talked a little bit about our, like what it means to be a nerd. And I think we talked a little bit about our hobbies, and throughout all these episodes, we've talked about our hobbies. For me personally, it's like just trying new things. Definitely within the nerd realm. Like I'm like a nerd at heart. Constantly wanting to try new things. So new games, different type of genres, different things.
So I'm gonna get to like the hobbies that we want to keep it. You want to start, but I want to start with like, what are some first hobbies you remember having?
Gaming has always been a thing for me, which is weird because like my brother and I got the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES, right? The first. It's not the granddaddy of home video game consoles, right? There was Atari and like ColecoVision, which my neighbor had, a good friend of mine, and like I still remember playing ColecoVision. But just something about gaming has always been a thing for me, and to see how much it's evolved from those like simple side scrollers to where we're at now. Like I look at Baldur's Gate that just came out. I'm not super far into it, but it's like, yeah, I see why that game is rated top
Getting the
top
love it's
notch.
getting.
Yeah, absolutely. So Baldur's Gate is a RPG, classic RPG game based off the Dungeons and Dragons. It's literally in the Dungeons and Dragons world. If you watch the D&D movie, which we talked about on this podcast, they mention Baldur's Gate because it's a city in that world. And the game itself is based off those rule sets, that world. The company that made the game had made a couple of games similar to that same dynamic. So there's a lot of drama to Baldur's Gate, and I think I'm happy that there's conversation about it. They had an advantage in the fact that they were working with a pre-set up world, pre-set up rule set, and they had made games similar to that. But most importantly, they had a publisher that was willing to let them finish it, willing to let them wait until they finish the game. And that's the big thing. That's the anomaly, because we as consumers should expect the best. And it's time that publishers recognize it. So like Rudy and I play Destiny a lot, and Destiny's being getting a lot of shit because the last few updates have basically just been like, hey, we want to make money. And it's like, fuck the gamers, fuck the story, fuck your experience. We want to make money. And it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good as a gamer to feel like you're logging in to make someone else money versus, like, I get it. Everyone needs to make money. Absolutely. Everyone needs to make money. But ultimately, give us a good product, we'll give you money. And I think they've like skipped that step. Like they've flipped it. And Baldur's Gate, I hope is the conversation piece to change that.
It's definitely a large subject. And then bringing up Destiny, there's a whole other shitstorm in there. Like we would probably spend a whole nother episode talking about the current state of gaming and the development cycle.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't want to hijack this hobby thing, but we brought it up because I also used to play World of Warcraft, and World of Warcraft still charges the $15 a month, and even them, while charging $15 a month, still kind of is leaning more and more into that like pay us more, do it, and it's like no, like I want to play your game, I'll pay $15 a month. Like even Destiny, I would pay a monthly to play Destiny.
Don't say that out loud.
No, if they were focused on giving us story and content that worked. But right now, for the most part, from what we've seen, they're focused on giving us really sexy cosmetics that you have to pay for.
Right.
It's like I don't want the team to focus on that. I want the team to focus on giving me a story and content and things to do, not like Diablo 4 is another great example from Blizzard, which I love Blizzard's products. And Diablo 4 had the potential to be a great game, but even then, logging into Diablo 4, it's like, hey, do you want to buy some shit? It's like, no, I want to play a game.
Would you consider video games to be your main, from the sounds of it in the past 10 minutes, you feel like video games is your main hobby?
Your main passion?
Main passion?
Yeah.
It sounds like it.
Gaming in general, video games and board games. I love gaming because there's, beyond the entertainment value, there's social aspects and stories. And I love the stories that can pop out of a game.
And I was talking to you earlier during our brunch about like board games. So video games, obviously, you love. It's just like me always bringing up movies. You always bring up games, Star Trek and games in general. Anytime we hit your corner. But like board games, I want to get into board games with you because there's been times over the couple of years that we've known each other that you're like, yeah, man, do you want to like join in? And I'm like, oh, let me read the rules and let me kind of teach it to me a bit. And I realize I'm stupider than I think that I am. Which is
oh my god, the intimidation factor when it comes to when he says, hey, do you want to play this? And I look at it, and I'm
so
like,
it isn't just me.
Fuck, I need to.
Okay.
I need to.
Luckily, half the time he has to remind himself of the rules.
Yeah, no one knows the rules to any video game. I'm just
That
telling you
makes
right
me
now.
feel a lot better. I know that I'm so fucking dumb.
Anytime.
I think we said like have a box of board games that have like Isaac level games.
Well, and then eventually he'll go through all the rules, and you're just like, oh, we'll catch on. Just keep going. Just start playing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we
no.
just give up.
Well, that's the thing is like to learn any board game is just start playing, and it's like it's shitty and it sounds weird and it's so intimidating to start, but it literally like you can explain, you can watch a video, you can do whatever, but like just start playing.
The amount of games you have anyways and that you play, like your memory would never
So the thing with board games is, and I was explaining this today at brunch, is that there are different types. So similar, like just like video games, you have a 2D side scroller, a 3D action slasher, an RPG, a tactical, or whatever. Board games have that same, like, different styles. And so once you learn how deck building works, or drafting, or I can't think of any other examples off the top of my head, but as soon as you kind of learn those individual things, learning a new game becomes easier because you can explain. It's like, oh, okay, now we draft, now we deck build, now we do this, and it's like, okay, it's similar to this, but it's different theme or whatever.
And you've kind of built just from the last 2 minutes, like you built a little more confidence where like, okay, I might try it out without feeling like I'm derailing your gameplay or anything like that. And you've always been real sweet to offer.
That's my shit. I like
the
everyone's.
Disney card game.
Yes,
We'll all
Lorca.
be on the same level.
Yeah.
I am so
It's like a
excited for
memory match game.
Lorcana.
Is that what it is?
I am very excited. So we're talking about Lorcana, which is Disney's trading card game, similar to like Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone or Keyforge, lesser known product. But I looked for some decks this weekend because I was out in Henderson. And I was like, oh, maybe they have some decks, but no. But I think at the end of the month, the Disney Lorcana stuff is going to hit like Target and Walmart and everything like that. So, Rudy, I'm going to need you to like.
I'm waiting for this Frankenstein's run that we're supposed to be making.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, we should totally do a Frankenstein's run and hit up
Bring
Lorcana.
up the remote mics and.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Oh yeah, we should totally record it.
So I'm curious though, I'm curious with all of you guys, like what started you guys off with your respective main hobbies? And I guess we'll do offshoots after, but like your main hobby is like video games and board games specifically, right? Like for me in my household, board games are like playing Sorry. Monopoly was just too complicated. Again, I'm dumb, right?
You don't let me play Monopoly with you.
No, I don't
Did
know
you
why.
cheat?
No, I played like once.
I mean, he really doesn't like it. I want to play, but he's kind of like, it's gonna take forever.
Yeah, because it's when you're a kid, it's exciting. When you're grown up, you're like spending money on bills. Yeah,
I'm like, let me take your money.
you have to get into the other games.
But as far as like board games, Doug, like the not usual board games, like how did you get into that? Like I know there's like D&D, I've been wanting to get into. I'm so fucking intimidated to get into that. I'm really intimidated. I think you hooked us up with a D&D starter pack. I'm just. Was it Ian?
Yeah.
Sorry. Other white guy. So, like, how did you?
We're all the same.
Who got you into like the nerdier board games?
When I was, like elementary school, I had some neighbors that lived near me that they played D&D. They played they didn't play Warhammer, but they played Blood Bowl, which is the same company that makes Warhammer. So it's just like going over to his house and like, oh, there's all this shit. Like this is cool, and just kind of sticking with it and just recognizing it. And then like later on in life, it's honestly more of like just, hey, I want to hang out with my friends. I want to do more than just stare at each other and drink. Like, what can we do? Which I mean, I'm down to stare at each other and drink. And now that I've gotten older, it's like, I don't know, you guys want to talk politics or socio-economic issues? Yeah, it's horrible.
Absolutely not.
Board games, right? And like even like at this point, I've like delved back into like old card games. Like I love Rummy. There's another card game called Golf. Like just playing with a deck of cards.
Oh, did we
can
play
be a lot
golf,
of fun.
right?
Yeah, golf.
Yeah.
Golf's
I was like,
super fun.
oh, I can do this one.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. Look at me.
But ultimately, it's a reason to hang out with friends.
Yeah.
But games provide these moments, and this is something that I don't want to hijack this show, but
You say it again. Take a shot.
Hijack it.
Just put these on our tab and we'll fucking do them all at the end.
but
Jesus Christ.
I'm sure any of us that have played games, I'm looking at Rudy and Jermaine specifically, like you get those moments that just become stories, and it's kind of weird because it's like the older generations tell stories about storming the beaches of Normandy or like going across France or whatever, or it's like for my family it's like escaping communist Russia and like illegally immigrating to the United States, like from the Europes. Jesus, way to kill a heartfelt
Do you
story.
know something we don't know?
Gaming can provide those story moments that just like you repeat. You tell people those times that you like beat that boss or you did something neat. And especially in like modern games. Going back to Baldur's Gate, it's literally Dungeons and Dragons, and that's one thing that I have to learn, like remind myself that it's not a Final Fantasy. It's not any of these other RPGs where you roll in and you kill everyone. No. There's decisions to be made and there's things to do and like ways to start a combat or ways to avoid a combat. And you get those moments. And then so like this weekend I was at my friend Danny's house and he's playing the game also. And so just talking to him and realizing like, oh, you didn't kill those people? Like I was like, or him. I think he's more in the lines of just killing everyone. I was like, oh, you killed those people? Like I talked my way out of that combat. Like it's so.
I think we learned that like in the superpower one where it's like, oh, we'll unalive a lot of people.
Yeah.
Jermaine's like, no, I'll save people. Fucking goody two
Oh, no, I gotta destroy you guys. It's not safe. I just know I gotta destroy you guys.
I've been playing so many of my like RPGs. Like so, I started Baldur's Gate. I just also recently started Outer Worlds, and then the Cyberpunk DLC, which is going to be like rewrite the entire Cyberpunk game, comes out next month. And same thing. So like, I'm probably going to restart a character, but I've been playing all these games like with a little bit more like I just want to talk my way out of combat. Like it's.
You don't want to kill anybody?
Yeah, I mean, like
okay?
from an assignment point of view, I do, but also I'm kind of just like I don't know. It's kind of fun to be able to like talk my way out of it, or as per last episode, riz my way out of it.
Oh man! So hobbies definitely are like something where we use it to escape, and some hobbies
There's
like
a
games
full-on dog on the floor
are something we can use to escape with friends.
Hold on, I'll take care of that real quick.
Oh no! Oh no! Run, Ellie, run!
Sorry.
Hold on. Goddamn dog. Come here. Come here. All right. No, we're good.
Sorry. I have giant feet, and they weren't like
That was
moving.
Ellie too.
I was like, why are my
Ellie
feet
1 was the
moving?
first one that you did that shit.
Keeps bringing him in. I'll keep taking him out.
Rachel, you're sick. Speaking of Rachel, so you grew up with how many siblings?
I grew up with two. I was the middle in between two brothers. And then when I was about 16, my mom started over and then my dad started over. So I got more.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
grew up between two boys. Kind of like Doug, we played board games all the time. So
You ever played board games like as in depth as that, or was it like
not
it
as
was
crazy as him, but
Monopoly
it
and
was
Sorry and
still more than you.
Yeah.
So it was,
Oh, wow.
Axis and Allies.
Oh,
or-
Axis and Allies. Hold on. That's the fucking game right there.
And then can't tell you how many Mario parties we had where we lead arguments, you're a cheater, and things getting thrown at each other and all that good stuff.
And like in your childhood, other than like having board games to play with friends and family, like did you ever have hobbies early on?
Not really. Like my brothers always played sports, and that was kind of where our time was mostly spent at the ballpark. So I would just, go to the playground, hang out with friends, whatever.
When did you feel like you picked up your first hobby? I know you like make a lot of like our gear and our stickers and stuff like that.
Well, I've been trying to find new hobbies because, as he likes to put it, I will doom scroll TikTok for hours. So I've been trying to find things to do, and that's where the cricket comes in. So I've been doing the vinyls and the iron-ons and birthday banners and things like that. So I've been trying to get into that. But my thing for as long as I can remember is music. I like to listen to music. I like to go to concerts.
You ever try to pick up an instrument?
I tried my hand at it was a rock band. I don't have the attention span for all that stuff. But I will say that on Fridays I look forward to the release radars the most out of the week so I can listen to new music. Like I know everybody here has their podcast days.
I was going to say, like Friday, you listen to the Hype Attack podcast because that comes out every Friday at midnight.
Yeah,
Listen to that
she already
first.
outed herself as to not listening to it, but now you say IRL.
No, because I listen back to him, and especially if we go anywhere, I will put it on so I can just do it again and force her to listen.
Awesome. I'm right around the block. I'm glad that all the listeners are just us.
We had started out that way where we would listen in the car going somewhere, we would listen together, and then we just weren't doing anything together for a while.
Don't worry, I crap on my wife too because I'm like, oh, and then remember the
Hold on. Is that your hobby?
Crap on my wife?
We haven't got the answers yet. Hold on.
We got this real cool
Let us
glass
get there.
table. Yeah. We got this real cool glass table. It's super from Germany, so
Yeah,
just
the
like making it as like
glass tables,
genuine as possible.
This
It's
is- you gotta-
great.
you
Before
gotta
that, we had
use
just
it.
like saran wrap.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's right around up to work.
Anyway,
It's happening.
I can't like listen to people talk and do something at the same time because then I'll be like, what did they just say? So I have to like spend dedicated time, and it's just between work and then whatever I plan to do after work and having the kid and the dog. I'm just like I can't focus on people talking.
So no dedicated hobby though?
Not really, just.
She loves going to concerts.
Yeah, I like to go to concerts. So I try to go as many of those. Yeah, me and Elva. I drag Elva to a lot of them.
You don't drag me. I go.
Rachel,
I
what
go.
would you say is your favorite genre in music?
I don't know that I have a favorite genre. I'm kind of all over the place.
What are you more partial to, though?
Rock.
Take you for a reggae gal.
So like, well, my favorite band is and has been Avenged Sevenfold, which they're kind of all over the place with their style lately. So I don't know that you could put like a certain label on it because I love their new record. It's one of the best records I've listened to in a while, and I know Rudy, me and him can listen to it over and over and over. But yeah, I'm
What is the what was the term that's emo, but it was like the old emo? Or you were telling me about that the other day.
elder emo.
Elder emo. There you go.
I do.
I was like, damn.
Music, yeah, I do.
Is that fucking it?
Any of the
Am I that old?
emo fans here, like, you ever have that moment of just like, God, you just don't understand.
All the time, especially
Yeah.
with Isaac.
I would play like Thursday on like a speaker or something, and people would be like, "It's just screaming." It's like, no, you don't understand.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
get it.
They're talking about love and
It's so
and like
weird.
heartbreak, and they're
Past
screaming
history.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, he last night he was looking at Instagram. He's like, one of my friends is at a concert. Have you ever heard of Under Oath?
Hell yes.
My favorite is a friend of mine would take me to. You're like, hey man, I got like a spare ticket. You want to like go? I was like, oh, what's it for? And it'd be like a band that Elva's into. And she's like, where are you gonna go see? I was like, I don't know, some band called what was it?
Devil Wears Prada.
I was like something like
Devil Wears
the
Prada.
Devil Wears Prada. And she's like, you can go see them. You don't even like them. I'm like, I didn't even know they existed till like 10 minutes ago. So
Like
I'm gonna watch
piercing,
them.
piercing the devil
Years.
under oath, wearing Prada. Like, yeah, these fucking band
Me
names.
and Rudy are gonna go see Avenged Sevenfold for the second time this year.
Oh, I love it. I like going
That's a
to
summer
music
deal
stuff.
package.
Like music is I guess like it's like a hobby that everyone like. It's like everyone's original hobby. Music everyone can relate to.
You were mentioning though that you've never been like big into music, and I
Never been big into concerts.
okay.
I love music.
Because I love music too, but like I remember growing up there, all the scenes. Like there was the rockers, and then
Yeah.
there was like
I couldn't get in with
the
it.
hip hop heads, and like and everyone dressed accordingly.
Yeah.
and like I'd never fit into any of those groups. 'Cause I
Fucking
liked
same,
all
yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
and I dressed like a fucking chud. So
Chud.
yeah,
And
This
then
is a
the
fucking
Chuds
blob
came.
of just Mexican, I guess.
When we went to the when we went to the Paramore concert, I was like, do people wear this? And she's like, darker colors. So like she had to kind of dress me and okay the outfit because I have I'm going to be seen with you.
You lost me in the crowd.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I went to like find there was a. I'm not gonna shit on Paramore.
All you
much.
Paramours look the same.
There was all the men's bathroom converted into women's bathroom, and there was only one designated men's bathroom.
Get the fuck
I
outta
swear
here.
to fucking God, dude. There's only one men's bathroom,
wow.
and it was like in the outside like ditch area next to the bar. It's like holy shit. And I
'Cause we can pee
went
wherever
around the
we
whole
want.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And then when I came back, and I was like, oh man, everyone looks like my wife. They're like pasty and hunched over. Well, everyone has high as fuck. And so I'm like,
Underlit by their phones. Like,
Vampire skin.
yeah, vampire skin. I'm glad that she didn't have like colored hair at the time. I can kind of pinpoint her out, but yeah, no, concerts. I try to get into concerts. I wanted them to be my thing, but
It's
comedy
hard
shows are.
because we don't. There's a few venues around here, but like it's not like LA where there's just every night there's some cool venue. Some of like the Roxy in Hollywood is like free. Some nights like I would love to live in that kind of area where you could be like, I don't know, what do you want to do? I don't know, let's go to Roxy and just see whoever is playing, because I've discovered so many bands just from like going to a concert, and the openers are like super good and they're fun.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
and
That's
but
surprising.
again, Orange County, it's like we have a few spots. Like we don't live too far from Chain Reaction, which I've never been to Chain Reaction. I'd love to go to Chain.
No, Chain Reaction is really good.
Yeah,
That's how I
Chain-
discovered a lot of my bands.
Yeah, Chain was like the hot spot for a long time for like punk and all that
Off
stuff.
Chain.
It was like $5 to get in.
Yeah.
That was it. And you just spend the whole night there.
Yeah. And then
off
we got
the
like
chain reaction.
Possibly use the garden wall or the
We have the Observatory in Santa Ana. We have the House of Blues in Anaheim. We have a few spots.
There's-
I've never been to, but
Jermaine took me to the observatory in San Diego for the first time to go see Silverstone pickups. And driving up Harbor, and they're like, oh, there's an observatory down here. And every time I go past the sign, I'm like, oh, who's playing? And it's fucking like Jeff and the leftists.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
So I've seen
And you pass by and you go, Doug, is that you? I'm getting tickets fucking to Jeff and the Leftists.
I've seen Lindsay Sterling, the
Oh, really?
the violinist.
I've
I've seen
seen
her
her
at the
too.
observatory, and I've seen Tinashe at the observatory there in Santa Ana.
Hey.
I'm
I'm
a
gonna
big
have to keep up
Tinashe
with
fan.
that.
Oh no, keep an eye on it.
But that's the thing is like, so part of like one of, if we're talking about music, part of my like conflict with life in the world is I generally like kind of smaller bands. Smaller bands don't get the Friday nights; they get the Tuesday night and some random fucking venue. And Orange County is just not a big enough spot to like bring it. So it's like Tuesday night San Diego, Tuesday night LA. But it's like, yeah, it's Tuesday night. I'm not going to drive to a show at 8:30.
I think it's the sprawl
Either
in
of
Orange
those
County
directions.
versus the everything
Yeah.
in LA and Hollywood is like right fucking there.
the
Yeah,
smaller
exactly.
ones aren't as well known, so they still play the smaller venues where you feel up close.
Yeah, and I love it. Like,
Yeah.
I love, there's a band called Skating Polly from like Oklahoma. I love Skating Polly, and I saw them, it was a Thursday night in LA, but like I was able to take the Friday off, and I have a friend that lives in Hollywood, so, but those kind of bands, like the last time I saw them, it was the smallest venue I've ever been in. Like, literally this room was about the amount of space that you had as the crowd. And it's fucking amazing to have like a band like right there and people that you love and you've seen grow up or whatever, but they're not.
It's just
They got
It scares me every time.
all the
that's
time.
never like that kind of band.
Let me go ahead
Hear my thoughts,
let me go
boy.
take this moment to tell our regular listeners it's fucking hot. I
Yeah.
know since the beginning of the hot season, you've heard that hum in the background for the AC. I'm sorry, but it's necessary, or else we'd be dying in here. As soon as the temperature's lower, you won't hear that background hum anymore. Or I'll figure out how to edit it out, or keep the levels up. But in the meantime, just bear with us.
But you'll hear a new hum. It'll be Doug's butt vibrator.
Anyways,
I think we've come to a lie on the hum.
That's my humor.
Speaking of hobbies,
Hey, Jermaine, I want to know more about you.
Oh, everyone shut the fuck up. I've been waiting for this, Jermaine.
I know.
yeah,
I want
yeah.
to get
Yeah,
to it.
Tell me
Fuck
about
music,
Tell
fuck
me about
everything.
everything you love.
Jermaine, what do you love? What do you like?
besides us.
I hate all of you.
You looked at me dead in the eyes when you said that.
My hobbies has always been. I do dabble in a lot of stuff, but
right? It's very easy once you're in this world.
but art has probably always been the thing that I've used as my escape. Besides music and things like that, but just drawing in general. Doing a little bit of watercolor. Well, what I used to do back in the day for my generation was I used to get the Game Pro magazines. I used to get the Disney VHS
What the fuck's a magazine?
boxes, and just look at that stuff. Like my art skill was the ability to look at something and I could draw it, recreate it, and then it got to a point where it just evolved and I started to draw my own stuff, and create my own characters or whatnot, or do even like a fusion of characters. When I used to work at Disney, it was funny because myself, Trey, and we had another friend named Mark. Like we always used to draw. We always used to kind of show each other our work, and we did these Disney X-Men characters. Like Mickey Mouse was like Cyclops and all these, these fusion, and it just so happens like years later, Disney owns Marvel, and all that stuff is like canon now.
So would you say that your hobby is to predict future things?
Yes, that's exactly.
You're under oath.
But not capitalize on them.
No.
I'm the Simpsons
Jermaine,
because I'm like the
Jermaine
Simpsons.
has all these good fucking ideas, and I swear to God that Disney and all the other people have satellites trained on him. So like, write that down. Write it down. We're taking it.
I'm telling you, we're really close to the mouse.
But oh no,
We stopped fighting it a while ago.
But
I'd let 'em.
besides like art and stuff like that, I really do like my figures. Like I collect like the SH figure arts figures. I do like messing with those. I use those also for
What's messing?
like anatomy.
Use those to inform your drawings.
Yeah, you can put them in different poses, and you know, like if you
Clean.
want to, like for instance, like a perspective. If you're not very good at perspective nowadays, it's better because you can actually take a picture of the figure in whatever position you want, and then you could, you know, take it into, you know, Photoshop or something like that, and then you could kind of do your
Like the skeleton.
the skeleton work, and then you go in and then you add all the flesh and like the muscle structures and all that. So it kind of helps out.
I do appreciate that. I use one of the art apps I use has like a quick, like add in some character positions or poses, and exactly that. It gives you the skeleton right there, so you don't even have to like use Photoshop. It's just like right then and there. It's pretty cool from an artist or someone who strives to be an artist perspective. Like
Oh yeah, all
like
that stuff is cool. Like I'm slowly getting back into Photoshop. Like I used to do it back in the day when I went into the Art Institute, but now I'm getting back into the art game and trying to do like my own kind of like art studio type of work and stuff like that. But just relearning the program again. But now's a good time if you ever wanted to get into digital art. Now is like I guess like probably the best time because, you know, AI and all that stuff.
Do you mainly work with digital stuff, or have you ever done stuff analog, I suppose?
Yeah, when I started,
rock that Earl.
when I did start, like it was within the sketchbook, a little bit of canvas painting with the watercolor stuff. But when I color now, I just like drawing, you know, doing like the hand drawing stuff, and then I scan that, and then I take it into Photoshop and do all the magic there. But it's just kind of getting back into it, that muscle memory back of relearning the program, because it was probably in like early 2000s, like, I don't know, maybe 2003 to 2006, 7 was when I was really into Photoshop, but then I haven't really used it since, and it's been a while. So
when's the last time you like partook in your hobby in art?
art wise,
Art next to dog.
It's alive.
Just recently, I've been doing some practice work to get back into it. Like I've been drawing like a lot of Dragon Ball Z stuff, and you know, just taking it into Photoshop and coloring. Like I did this Kratos from God of War, but he's like a baby. Like just some random off the wall, you know, artwork to kind of get my groove back, my mojo, and all that stuff. But art has probably been my number one hobby, and then from art, I would probably say I love my comic books. I love reading comic books. I like my manga. I do love my fighting games. I love back in the day, especially those days where you used to spend dollars or quarters, I should say, getting your ass beat by like the best people out there. You're like,
Did you ever like? So I've watched some documentaries on fighting games, and same with you. I've always liked them. I've always picked up the latest Mortal Kombat, the latest Street Fighters. But I stopped after watching this documentary because they were interviewing these nerds that were like, yeah, this character is not good on the left side. So what you want to do is right away jump to the right side. And then it was just like, these characters have side preferences. And they would go into more detail, like this character, like you want to make sure you block. You got to block mid fights, but then like push upper fights or whatever. It's just like, what?
Me and Jermaine would go every time we went out and there was an arcade or video games present. If there was fighting games, me and him would square off against each other. But then you'd get some rando that would walk up and be like, "Oh,
Stop that going down."
So he'd get his shot in, and Jermaine's has a little bit of an edge on me when it comes to fighting games, even though I kick his ass regularly. So I usually back out. I usually back out and let Jermaine take on all comers.
Did you guys see a blind guy? Hold on. A blind dude beat won a fight at an official Street Fighter tournament.
Oh yeah, I just read that.
Yeah, because Street Fighter has added a lot of audio cues. Oh. And this dude, blind as shit, like really blind, like legit blind, showed up and won a fight.
Oh, that's gotta suck.
For the guy that lost, right?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Yeah. Really? Like, I don't care about like an amputee going up, whatever, Mount Everest or whatever. But damn, getting beat at a video game? Fuck.
By a blind man, yeah.
Does that mean his sense of smell is a little stronger, so you just go full stinky, right?
Because that's a strategy.
Yeah.
We've talked about,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, yeah, you just don't shower for 3 days. You don't shower for 3 weeks and then shit yourself.
Just for 3 weeks, white front to back. Back to front.
Back to front.
Hey, you're ready to fight. I hope you have a good game. Like, yeah.
You get a little reservoir going in your throat.
Yeah, literally, like, just rub your crotch before you shake your hands.
man.
So there's a whiff.
Chocolate covered pretzels.
That's what singing a song while you're playing, so you totally throw them off, right?
What?
You could do something as simple as like singing while you play.
Yeah, absolutely. Something crazy.
Anyway, Jermaine.
Any more hobbies?
What do you like drawing? Anime titties?
I'm waiting for you to host a picnic for us.
Yeah, we want picnics and drawings.
A picnic.
Paint night.
Oh,
Paint night. Paint night.
All right. I'll be the model. I'll be the nude model.
You can't ask my boy Jermaine to lower his standards and come and paint like fucking
Paint my
beach
numbers.
backgrounds.
Yeah. Be a beach background.
Oh my god! I used the most common one that I've seen from people putting shit up.
Because we have 3 of them.
The 4 ones that you have.
I went naked Isaac and a freeway background.
And a freeway background.
Because we live in Southern California. There's 12
Because there's
freeways.
oranges on the freeway exit. Yeah, I do, but it's not the point, Doug.
Yeah.
You don't have to be naked when you do it.
It's hot out there.
Right.
I said freeways
Anyway,
because it's
before we-
Southern California.
Before we go completely off the fucking rails,
Too late.
Jermaine, I wanted to come back to your figures. Do you have a rough estimate of how many figures you own?
No, man, I have like.
I know you have a plethora, but I've always wondered like exactly how many.
Shoot, it's probably close to 100.
God.
And these are like legit figures, like not like the shit you get out of the 25-cent machine. You know,
It ain't them Funko Pops, that's for sure.
you need the Funko Pops alone. Funko Pops are my jam.
No, I have no problem with Funko Pops, but
Allergic to attention.
I just like my figures with that detail, like whether it be like a statue, like let's say from Kotobukiya or something like that. Like I just like those figures. I like my posable figures.
I was going to ask you, posable or not posable?
If it's a character that I really love, I don't mind the statue of a particular character that I want. Like
Because they're probably picking a stance that like
yeah,
is
they got a pretty
fitting.
cool stance, but I do like the little figures that you can pose and you could kind of
The
make
DX
like a
suck
little
it pose for all of
scene
them.
and all that stuff. Yeah, like it.
Cowabunga suck off.
For instance, like the NECA Ninja Turtles. I still want to get the little minifigures with the shredder, but I want to recreate that rooftop fight scene. Like I want to legit build that
The
roof.
what? The what
diorama.
Ninja Turtles though?
The 1990 the live action movie.
Oh,
I want to rebuild that rooftop scene with the shredder with all the 4 turtles. Like that's been one of
Oh yeah.
my goals. But yeah, besides art, the fighting games and all that stuff, and my anime manga stuff, I just like going to the gym like it's my release. Like I can like kind of go there and let go everything. If I have my music, I definitely have to have my music, because if I go to the gym without my headphones, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, might as well hang yourself.
I might have to leave.
No, I've been there. Like, yeah,
Hang yourself on the cable machines.
exactly.
Autoerotic.
And then someone starts lifting you.
Asphyxiation.
Some bro's like, you using this? No? Okay. Starts lifting your dead bodies right
Yeah.
in there.
Almost finished.
I've always been jealous of Jermaine's dedication to keeping himself healthy because he's dynamite areolas and he keeps them bad boys in shape.
Did we have video rolling on the time we had his guns out?
Yeah. I have. That's all in the archives.
Hold on. We can talk about your hobbies later. Let's finish Jermaine.
Yeah.
Let's let Jermaine finish his hobbies.
But for me, that's about it. Besides, writing is kind of a thing that I've always kind of had a thing for, but it's definitely a practice that you have to keep doing. I'm forcing myself to write almost every day.
Really?
You know, for like at least an hour. You know, whether it be something that I want to, you know, get out there, or just write something just to write something. And it's one of those things that, because I want to do it, it's a practice that I religiously do, because it's just that creative thing that's in me, that I have all these ideas, but I just gotta get them out, you know.
Yeah.
Get them out there, write them down, get them done. My dream was always to work for, you know, like a comic book industry, like Marvel, Image, you know, DC, and write these stories of these heroes that I like, you know, like a Superman story, or write like a Thundercats, you know, story, or even like a Ninja Turtle. But I don't want to do that anymore. Like, that dream has died. Well, not died, but I just want to create my own stuff, have my own stamp out there, and if I get all that stuff done, then I wouldn't mind, you know, going back and writing, you know, a particular story for one of the
Have you written any fanfic? Erotic fanfic?
Wow, how did I know this?
No, I haven't written anything like that.
Oh, never mind then.
My stuff are kind of like sci-fi thrillers, or even a like a fantasy type story. Nothing legit in real life, but I'm always that kind of like a Blade vampire hunter, you know, type of story, or like a Matrix, or like conspiracy kind of sci-fi story. But I will eventually get there. But that's really my hobby that I'm trying to get into, or trying to make myself better at anyways, is that writing aspect.
I've heard about that with writers, where they make it a habit to sit down for an hour. And sometimes I've heard some people say that they don't even. Oh, sorry, I got to pour this drink. That they have to.
Thank you, Rachel.
Sometimes they won't even actually write, but they sit down for an hour just to get into the practice of like trying to get that brain in that moment. Because like, you know, being creative is tough, and sometimes it flows, and sometimes it doesn't flow. You know.
Oh yeah, exactly. You have your days.
Yeah.
You do have your days. Like when I'm at work, like I'm constantly writing notes, you know, or something like that. So when I get home, you know, there's times where I'm just transferring those notes. But while I'm doing that, I'll get another spark of another idea. So that'll kind of spark something, you know, a angle. Oh, the story can go this way, you know.
Yeah.
Or the story can go that way. But it's just one of those things you just have to sit there.
I'm good.
And just write, whether you're writing your story, or you're just, you know, writing, you know, something down just to write. But
just keeping
you have to.
It's like
do
keeping
you just have to do it.
the crud out of like the creative machine, right?
Mm-hmm. You're just trying to fine tune it, because when I first started, like I did read one of the stories that I wrote probably back like in 2001, and I was like,
For any creatives, like
pages
I
of
think we
penises
all
shit.
have that, because I do like little bullshit videos and stuff like that, and like as creatives, you make it and you put it out there, you keep it, and you look back on it, and at the time you think like, man, this was like this hot shit, I'm onto something, and then however many years later you look back and you go, fuck. But it's also nice to see that progress.
Every day of my life.
Yeah.
I wake up at every decision I've ever made. I'm like, God damn.
Was no progress.
No progress.
I have that, but
Tomorrow it'll
not
be
every
better.
decision.
Oh, yeah.
But I wake up and look over and I'm like, oh shit.
Yes.
I love you, babe.
Because I'm there and not Jermaine.
No, it's because I turned and the fucking dog is between us.
Dogs.
And then I'm like,
Ellie's there with the ball. Like, play.
why did
You
I
wanna
bring
play?
Greg to this?
You know, I don't think I know what your hobbies are, Rudy.
Because I'm
Fucking dick and taking
I'm
I
kind
mean,
of
I know
I'm
you.
kind of a chameleon when it comes to hobbies.
A what?
Salute.
Chameleon?
No, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Chameleon.
Chubby what?
I mean, other than running this fucking studio, other than running this podcast and setting all this stuff up.
Very poorly. I apologize for the audio.
No. Shut up.
Yeah, some people just have.
Shut up, Isaac, for once in your life.
Can we run back the first 15 minutes about games?
Yeah.
What?
Rudy does a fucking amazing job editing this shit.
I never said anything bad.
I know, and I wanted you to shut up so I can say this.
What?
Rudy does an
gotta
amazing
say, you
job
gotta hold
editing
pencil.
this, and if this becomes your hobby, there's money in it because you're fucking amazing.
Yeah, no, he's
fucking love you.
absolutely. Yeah.
You cut out so much of Isaac's bullshit
I'm getting slammed down by Doug.
and my bullshit.
Jesus Christ, Douglas!
As a quick
I have
aside,
never slammed you. I'm just getting it from this side.
I
Usually I
know,
get it
I know,
from Rachel's
I
side.
know.
I'm getting it
I
hard from the
know.
right side.
Hey, I told you to shut up once and you didn't, so I had to,
I don't give a
put
shit.
my foot down. I just wanted to praise. I just wanted to praise Rudy. I just wanted to praise Rudy. It was Rudy's highlight. It was Rudy's spotlight, and I was like, I want to praise him, and you just kept on talking.
I was praising him.
he was getting there.
I was getting there. I wanted to really.
I
Yeah, I wanted to step over you. And do
Yeah, I
it.
wanted to, in a non-slurred way, get to how beautiful this room is. He set up. Every time we come in here, there's always something new, and hey, I'm messing with this system and that system, unprompted, and yeah, like one of the last couple of episodes, we maybe weren't like as hot as we usually are, but this fucking guy goes, here's the first rough edit.
That's why you'll note that in my hobbies it wasn't hanging with my because he's always this.
Well, that's why I'm trying to create opportunities for you to be in here more, my love.
And I will give credit.
This is his escape room.
I'll give credit to Rachel. It was the Apocalypse episode. No, the episode before that.
Villains.
The villains episode. She edited that.
She
did. And she did an amazing job. And I had complimented you. And now we have it on record, so we can stop now. But
I was telling Isaac that she would go through a section of audio, and I'd be like,
can you say when you walked in, all you hear was click, 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 click?
no, because I'm sitting right over there. She's doing it just in case she has any questions, and I hear
You're welcome, listeners.
I hear 2 seconds. I hear 2 seconds of fucking someone talking, and then stop, and then just. I'm like, what the fuck is she? What is she editing in that 2 seconds?
Yeah.
But when she was done, it was tight, and that provoked my my ego. So the episode I did after that was there was a challenge thrown down. So I tightened that episode up too. So she makes me
Rachel's
better.
never allowed to edit again.
Tight. As far as creative things too, it's so fun to
Talk shit.
to have someone that you know that's also creative.
That's your
'Cause
hobby.
It makes it a little bit competitive,
Yeah.
and makes you want to strive even better. You know what I mean? So that's good competition.
Kick her in the chest and be like, I'm the master. This is Sparta. I'm sorry.
Edit this, you bitch.
Rudy's nickname for me is Judy.
What?
I judge it.
Judge Judy.
Yeah.
Judge Dredd over there. As an aside, Doug, you don't have to yell at him anymore. I got this canvas right here specifically aimed at Isaac so that you can point at it, and when he's doing some shit or he's running over people, the Joker pencil disappearing trick. In his future, if he doesn't fucking knock his shit off, and that's what I want you to just. You don't even say it. Just point at the picture and you'll be
Hey,
like,
I think it's pretty safe to say that after a couple of episodes, I've learned to not run over anybody.
we just give you a hard time.
You know.
Isaac.
Yeah.
The same way you give all of us a hard time.
I run over some people, so I'm sorry. Yeah.
You
all the
took.
time.
I know. I was like, "Here's the mantle," and I pass it on to you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the younger brother. We gotta talk shit on you.
So,
Jermaine's just over here can everyone just shut the fuck
hobby wise, I've always been kind of
Yeah.
a grazer. I like being exposed, like all of you guys. I like being exposed to the stuff that you guys are exposing me to.
Oh, I'll expose myself to you.
And then I like trying stuff out. I've gotten deeper into video games because of Doug. Video games has always been a part of my life, but I think the attention I pay to it now is more due to Doug. Drones, which I kind of put on the back burner when I started doing all this, but I'm very much love the idea, the aspect of piloting.
Yeah. And once you tinker around with the simulator, I want to get that drone fixed, and I want to give that to you.
I got a drone and I crashed it, and I haven't been able to fix it yet.
Oh, that's. I
But-
remember that moment,
That was
man.
unintentionally our fault.
But that's something that I have interest in and doing it more. Jermaine I've always been kind of a writer, like in my head and imagination stuff, and being exposed to him and his fucking intense imagination has made me more want to put stuff on a page. And I have a story from when I was like young. I think it was in I think it was a sophomore in high school. I had written something. There was a class project, and you're supposed to write a short story with like a chapter every week or whatever. So I started writing some stuff, and I liked it. I got into it. Like 2 weeks in, the teacher slapped my story down in front of me, and she was like, "Where did you copy this from?" Like without any kind of preamble, she's just like, "Where did you copy this from?" I'm like,
That fucking bitch. Fuck that whore.
I don't remember her name.
She's probably on Facebook.
She's probably missed.
I just
Yeah,
remember just being stunned in that moment and not really being able to answer that. I'm like, I didn't copy this from anybody. Like I wrote it, and then she like went through it all, and she was like, "What does this word mean? What does this word mean? What is this?" Like she was astounded that I had the level of vocabulary that I did for my age, I guess.
Seriously, fucking bitch.
Seriously, yeah.
At that point, though, I had been reading a shit ton of books, and when I got into reading, it was specifically for Star Wars. Like I do have a little Star Wars shelf over there. When they started doing the expanded universe, like all those books were on my fucking shelf. Like I had a cool bookshelf filled with Star Wars books that were lost to some rainfall and a leaky roof one year, but from that, like it expanded my vocabulary, and I took that with me everywhere. I still like to write. I don't do it as much anymore, but it's still something in the back of my head. Like where someone asks me to write something, I can crank something out, and it looks and sounds, I think serviceable to me.
So if I ask you to write me some erotic fan fiction,
I could probably
hell yeah.
Don't trip. Like I've been down that pathway. Like
He's ready enough.
I can fly sexily too if you want.
Fuck off. No, I want Rudy's.
like I inhale.
And all of our
stuff,
hobbies can be
and I can-
sexy.
Rudy's big words with Jermaine's imagination.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Miko, with your big
We
words.
did try to pair that off. It never got off the ground. This circumstances just didn't eventuate. But
It's just semi-hard.
I think me and Jermaine, just even talking about all the stuff, and like to even start this podcast, that was like me and Jermaine were like, we need to get together and just get all this out and get all this out and get all this out. And I'm happy that this has sprung forth from that, and now I have a new hobby, which is podcasting and almost getting into the video aspect of it. We're trying.
And a lot of it is very much you. Like again, from building the studio and like putting stuff on the walls and like the things that you do with the editing and everything like that. Like I see that light in your eye, Rudy.
I dig it.
And there's moments where I'm like, hey, maybe you're like, I got it. I'm like, oh yeah, man, that's yours. You got this.
But like, so the storytelling and all that stuff, that brings me to like, I love nerddom, but Star Wars is my main attraction, and everything about Star Wars I love. I used to be that guy that was on top of everything, the entire universe. Like if someone said something about an episode over here, I could fucking tell you.
Actually,
Yeah, I was that asshole.
I saw you flex that with a friend of mine, Justin, and he also knew Star Wars. And I saw you guys like going back and forth with some trivia, and I was like, whoa! And I think you easily blew him out of the water.
yeah.
Yes, Doug, he blew him.
It's one of those things where like I don't.
Not in the water.
And it's been a little rough with this podcast because I'm not the most vocal person. Like I don't talk unless I have something to say.
But you speak through that soundboard and you kick ass at it.
Once you fucking get me on a topic that I like,
Yeah.
I will talk your ear off.
Yeah.
You gotta give him some
I hope to hear more of that.
quality time.
I absolutely with the alcohol has helped. It does loosen the tongue.
No, I really like. I know it's a little more seldom, and I know I'm always talking. Me and Doug are talking over everyone else, but like whenever you chime in, I fucking love it. I really do, because you got like shit to say. Me, I'm bullshitting and fluffing and all the time. But like when you're talking,
Absolutely.
I love the shit you have to say, man.
I will say, like, hobbies are what they are, but it wasn't until I started hanging out with Rudy, Jermaine, this group, till I saw like true passion. Like the passion they have for the things that they do. Comic-Con, the Star Wars, like new things coming out, and just excitement that they have is contagious.
And more to that, like there's times where Doug will pop in and go, hey, look, here's the new thing I'm doing. I'm painting this and check out like my bow. And then same, like I'll have discussions with each of these guys. Cause like I have like my little hobby of like drone flying and like kind of bullshit video editing and stuff. But like these OGs, I love talking to them about their respective passions, their respective hobbies, because I don't know anything about it, but it's the level of passion that somebody, hits me with about their stuff. And then I get interested in it, and then I start following like their respective pages and stuff like that.
I'm definitely a nerd through marriage, and I will absolutely pat myself on the back when someone says something, and I can hold that conversation because I've heard it from Rudy and Jermaine.
No, the things that make me proud is when she tells me like someone brought this up, and I have fucking put my foot down directly into their culo and fucking I correct them because they were completely wrong, and this is the right way to, like I love that shit.
Put that foot in the ass and wiggle them toes.
Wiggle them toes. I still love that.
And last but not least,
before we move on, since I have that Star Wars hobby, and Jermaine has his action figures or his statues and all that stuff. I am a lightsaber connoisseur.
Oh yeah, that's so hot.
I do have a modest lightsaber collection, but I did for my birthday recently acquire the Elite Obi-Wan Black Series lightsaber, which is currently perched on my head.
Look at that.
And I also was able to acquire a Imperial Workshop lightsaber, which is one of the third-party lightsaber creators, and they do a very good basic hilt, but with all the bells and whistles that the lightsaber community has built into their lightsabers lately, and I can't wait to play with it. Maybe I will.
It's charging now.
Maybe we'll do some videos later, and because there's a ton of people like who have this lightsaber who've done like demo videos, but I don't think one more would hurt the universe.
Absolutely.
Shout out Mama
And
Video.
how did you get these lightsabers?
That's
Do
right.
you want to give a shout out to the person that gave you?
Mom, thank you very much.
We got you.
She came
She
through.
listens to the show.
She came through on my birthday, and she blessed me with both of these lightsabers. So thank you very much.
I will say, watching her talk about your guys' show at the brunch was pretty cool.
Oh, I was excited.
Oh, every
She's like, I went and bought this book because they're talking about
Yeah.
it. Like, yeah. She's like, I want to be part of your movie entourage.
every now and again I'll pop into like the Hype Attack IG and I'll just like browse through it just to check any messages and stuff. And it's her with like like fun lengthy stuff of how much she loved the episodes and what she thought of this, that, and the other. It's hi, Mama Rachel.
It's pretty cool to watch because him and his brothers and sister, like their nerd runs deep. You can tell. That's their mom's like, nope, that's wrong. This is what happened.
I got it from my mama.
And
Anyway.
speaking of supporters,
I will say before Isaac jumps in, I just want to make a comment quick about hobbies in general. I think it's like ingrained in our DNA to love hobbies, and I think people aren't even aware that they're into a hobby, and it's what's making them happy. Like I've witnessed people that I love or friends that I've had that like have gotten into something, and they've never approached it like a hobby. Like even I've had friends that got like smoking weed, and they're like, "Oh man, I'm so much happier. I'm so much happier." And I was like, "Okay, yeah. One, obviously, you're smoking weed, but two, it became a hobby to them. They were buying merch. They were going to the smoke shops and buying bombs or
learn the
pieces.
flowers, the strings, everything,
It's
yeah.
like they were doing research. They were
connoisseur,
buying things. They were buying. It was just like part of me was like, yeah, obviously you're happy you're smoking weed, but you also got a hobby.
Yeah.
And it's I think there's just something that in all of us that just want that hobby, and people might not even know that they're into it. I mean, I look at sports, same thing, right? Like some people really get into sports. They know every player, every position. They're dressing up, they're cosplaying, and it's like, yeah, you got a hobby.
I think I even said early on that like sports is like that first form of nerdom. They won't say that they're nerds, but sports is that first form of being a nerd. Going and shouting and ranting and raving and all your time and energy and attention is on a sport. You're painting your face and you're wearing your kits and your gear and shit,
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, sorry.
I'm sorry, it tickles me that Doug refers to wearing sports gear as cosplaying.
It is absolutely
Absolutely.
Next time I'll wear my cosplay, okay?
Yeah. Are you an F1 Formula racer?
I am.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Who do we have left, Isaac?
Oh, we have my wife left, and I want to talk about her hobbies.
Let's go.
Because I don't pay attention to her. I don't know what the fuck she. No, I'm kidding.
I started about to tell my wife, don't
Wait,
I
what
listen to you?
hobbies? I don't know. I just listened to Formula One. I really got into it this year, but I think sports
I'm sorry.
is.
Wait, hold on. Did you say you listen to Formula One?
I listen and watch it.
Oh.
Yeah.
How do you listen to Formula One?
Podcast.
Just like race commentary?
Yeah, commentary. Oh.
A left. Another left. Another left. Another left.
No, that's indie. That's indie.
Oh, yeah.
No, there's forums that just they just create all these things. They break down the races. They break down past drivers, the history of it, and it's just I'm in it. Like I'll wake up on Fridays all the way to Sunday, 3 a.m. all the way, watch the race.
That's because a lot of those races are in Europe, right?
Europe, yeah. I'm just waiting for the ones that do come over here. That way I don't have to wake up at freaking 5 a.m. to watch this race.
What time's the one next week?
6 a.m.
What is it about Formula One?
I think that it's more than racing. It's the engineering. There's all these upgrades that are made throughout the whole season, and it's more than just a car. Oh, it's a car. No,
It's family.
It's yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Benjamin. You speak English?
No, I've said it before. Like Jimmy, like we might talk over, but he'll fucking snipe it.
Yeah.
Dude. And I'm like, yes.
Sorry, didn't mean to derail you there.
No, you're good. There's that, and then I also got into hockey, but I've always been into hockey. I even go back to all the older players, and I actually like the older players, and then you can kind of tell. You can kind of tell where. Oh my God! Is there a cat fight over here? You can kind of tell where the older, the younger players get their inspiration from, because especially how they play and stuff.
I still have yet to go to a hockey game. Like I always wanted to go, but I've never been to one yet.
Can I tell
It's fun.
Can I tell
That's
a hockey
fun.
game story? So,
Go.
We live here in Anaheim. The Ducks obviously play in Anaheim. Like hockey games are super fun, but the flash photography, like for the official, like as they take pictures, there's a flash from the ceiling. It drove me nuts. I could not enjoy the game because the flashes were just triggering me or something. Like I was just like, God damn, what the fuck is that?
Because they never did the flying V.
Yeah, I mean, I was yelling the whole time. Just like,
Rachel, get out.
Anytime I go to an Angels game, I do the whole like Angels in the outfield thing. I go to a Ducks game, it's like flying V, do it, and they don't do it. Apparently, it's not a viable strategy.
Oh my God, that's right. Yeah, we the Carmonas went out with the Morenos to a hockey game, and like I think it was Rudy and Elva that were like really like intent on the game, and then me and Rachel had a rare bonding moment where we're like talking everything that we learned from the show Shoresy. You can be found on Hulu. And we just going on and on. We're like, yeah, boys, and we were actually cheering it on, but just everything.
Season 2 coming soon.
But Alva, how did, because you said it before, and you'll hear it on our other podcast where you
Don't fucking plug that shit.
Hey, thin ice, buddy.
No, go ahead and plug it.
Well, me and Alva, we're gonna start a new hobby together, and
Butt plug it.
oh man,
Wait, no, don't plug it. Don't plug it. Plug it.
When husband and wife like to do stuff together.
Shut the fuck up.
That'd be a great promo though. If you pull out the butt plug and it's just like foreign films. Some like lube slops off of it.
Oh my God.
Do you guys have a name for it? Or is it just your
No. We do have a name for it, and I want to build up to it in just a second,
Oh,
right?
okay.
But like,
Isaac has a name for it.
no, we brainstormed it. We and her sat down over a couple of dinners, and we like brainstormed this whole idea. So like, you guys already know that on Forehead Films, FOREHED Films on Instagram, that
Yo, he's plugging everything.
That I do
So you
my
gonna pay
little,
what you
like,
owe.
my little movie reviews, right? But at the same time, I talked about like it would be cool to do a segment where like it allowed us to watch a movie that we'd never seen before, and I was like, wouldn't it be funny to call it like, hey, what? You haven't seen that? And so we started brainstorming that because I from doing this podcast as fun, it's so much fun that I wanted to continue to do it and to do more, right? Mm-hmm. And per my nerdum is like a lot of movies and stuff like that. And I was like, man, what if I were to do a podcast by myself, what would it be of? And then we just started brainstorming, and we stumbled on like, oh, well, if we're going to do that little segment of you haven't seen that, well, why not make that into a podcast where me and my wife watch a movie that we hadn't seen, that we have on that growing list, and then sit down and actually like review it and break it down and see how it holds up and stuff like that. And so, yeah, the name of the podcast is going to be You Haven't Seen That? And I'm excited to have like people on and who haven't seen it. I already talked to Doug about watching Pulp Fiction. He hadn't seen that.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen Equilibrium. Yeah, and I want to have Jermaine and Kat on.
Shame.
What?
Shame.
Oh yeah,
he's looking to destroy you on that one.
but that's the whole concept of the show. Because how many times, even like with me saying like I haven't seen such and such movie, and all you guys say you haven't seen that, like it's a phrase that we use all the time. And I thought, well, fuck, that's fucking catchy enough. And it's a way to force us to watch movies that some people like really didn't want to see. I'm down to watch new stuff all the time, but certain people like comfort stuff.
Hey, you want to watch some Star Trek with me?
So that's down the line. No, Star Trek is on the list.
There's like 13 movies we can go through.
I don't know. Shit back on. This is Star Trek time, baby.
It's on the list. It really is.
Motherfucker, you haven't seen Pulp Fiction?
Me?
Yes, you.
Say the phrase.
Holy shit, you haven't seen that?
There you go.
Honestly,
We get royalties for that, so like
Tarantino is one of those directors that like I've always known. Like, he makes good stuff. And then like at one point I was like, I don't know how many movies I've seen. I haven't. Pulp Fiction is definitely one that like I'm not like I wake up every morning and like slap myself.
Motherfucker.
I know.
He's carrying a box of donuts in that movie. And he's a motherfucker. Like,
Everyone's all like,
Can we recreate that?
once I see it, like I can't make a joke if I haven't seen it.
we'll come back to it. We'll circle around. Don't worry.
Yeah.
No, it's certainly one of those things where like people start talking about movies. And I'm like, oh motherfucker, I haven't seen that. Like how? Like there's so many references. I mean, like I've seen enough memes and gifs and everything.
It was like
gifs or gifs.
And that's a new name. Oh, motherfucker! I haven't seen that. Motherfucker, you haven't seen that?
It's gifs. Cowabunga. Suck off.
The idea for the show was like right fucking there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so yeah, no, it's another good reason like to finally go through that fucking list that we all know we have, and we all know we're not gonna fucking actually watch anything on that list.
Are you looking to make that like a weekly thing or a monthly thing?
I think it's going to be a weekly thing.
Weekly?
Yeah. So, because me and my wife, we don't have any kids. We don't have any other major responsibilities. And so, no major responsibilities. So, we can like sit down and watch a movie, and probably by the end of the week, like bank 2 each and pump them out weekly.
How long are you planning the episodes to be?
Oh man,
we
tried it out actually last night, and we were kind of shooting for about 45 minutes, but it ended up turning out about to like an hour. So, but it's going to grow into it's going to evolve into what it's going to be.
That's
You went longer than what you.
I literally thought when we started this, we'd be lucky to get to 30, maybe 45 minutes.
I hope you let her talk.
And we're fucking 2-hour episodes almost.
What'd you say?
I'm pretty sure she implied that you talk too much, and Elva.
Rachel made a
didn't
comment.
Dude, we talked about all of that. That's the cool stuff about it. Is that we covered all of it. So check this out.
Isaac, Elva's chance. Elva, do you feel like you get an adequate?
Space.
You get a word in?
Safe space.
Safe space.
Safe space or just
Safe space.
No, this is a safe space.
Safe space.
And do you feel like you get, your words in?
Just shut the fuck up just a little bit.
No. He tells me to shut the fuck up all the time at home.
Nice.
Because I am
Caught
at
it
home.
right there.
I don't know how that could possibly happen.
I'm like a kid on like so much sugar.
Hold on, I
caffeine.
didn't ask you for all this.
Son of a bitch.
You're gay.
All right, that's the funny part. Is like
It was
I
a
have
yes
like
or no, it was a yes or no question.
Alva's social anxiety is that when she's at home, she can finally be herself. And when she's out in public, she's like shut down. And then mine is like an extroverted introvert, where I hide my insecurities by just talking a bunch. I
hadn't noticed.
No, yeah.
Nah.
It's really hard to see. You got to look a little close.
I used to be that way though. Like I used to be, that person who didn't used to talk a lot, and it was just one of those things, I'm like, I got some shit to say. Fuck y'all. I'm about to say
And I love that.
I'm gonna say what I gotta say.
No, but I've at work listening to our podcast over just to double check the edits, venturing off into other podcasts, from other people that I enjoy. I like putting the headphones on at work and listening and shit, and I can't wait to add your podcast to the rotation.
Oh man, appreciate that.
Man,
wow. Get the Rudy stamp of approval.
We'll see.
I know.
Thank you, man.
I'm gonna be disrespected in them comments. Did you hear it?
We jumped into them comments, motherfucker.
I got a chance today to finally be like, no, you're wrong. in your forehead films.
Oh yeah.
You.
So Doug sort of like steamrolled me about like my little movie corner, so I didn't get to talk about the movie I wanted to talk about, which is Demeter, because we actually disagreed with our opinions on the movie.
But I still think it's good, but over dramatic.
Oh, you
Yeah.
mean for that you actually read the comments on the Instagram?
Yeah. I read your comments, but they have nothing pertaining to the actual content, so I go, okay, skip. And
No. For hypothetical. So for a movie film, you actually read the comments, but not that.
Yeah,
I
because
try to go through the hype attack, but like there's
shut
this
your
one
mouth.
video. There's this one video, and it's all the likes and views from like this one particular video that Jermaine had put up. What was it like 2 months ago now? Man,
Like it's almost at 2 million.
dude,
views
it's almost
or-
at like 2 million.
Jesus.
It's fucking awesome. And so I'm like, no, that's the video. And I go, oh fuck, I can't search like the rest of this stuff. You know what I mean?
I don't even
Okay, you're
go.
forgiven, Neil. You're forgiven.
The hell?
I don't go through the notifications. I literally
You have to go through the posts.
I go through the hypertags Instagram and just like look for comments. I mean, like, oh, Rudy's talking about balls deep cartoons, balls deep childhood. I don't know.
Yeah, I have an
Like
attention
that.
span. I have a short attention span.
We'll get to that.
Like,
You don't say.
so I'm keeping track of her bad comments. So like with my own Forehead Films, FOREHED Films on Instagram,
Fucking plug.
it's just easier to like filter through those things because it's just boom. I unfortunately don't have a viral video to have to like scam past.
Anyways, besides talking over everybody, what
that's
is
his favorite
your
So other than
Bang, bang.
my wife and I doing a podcast together, I've gone through a slew of hobbies over the years. In fact, one of them, like this mat that I have right here, it's a fucking gun mat, and I'm taking your ass shooting. We still have to talk about the details of that shit.
We'll get together on that.
Like my hobbies, dude, over the years was like fucking acoustic guitar. I'm not like great at it. I was in a band for a fucking hot minute. It sucked. I sucked at that.
But how did you play?
No, that was good. I wasn't saying you sucked. Somebody else sucked.
Clarify your comments, there, right now.
Every comment. Hell, you're keeping real score.
Dude, I've always been trying to find like a hobby that I could like stick with. I have,
Do you know about Warhammer?
No, it's
You
you,
haven't watched Star Trek.
Yeah, talking about
Star Trek.
you, and someone else that listens to the show religiously. Shout out Mosier, what's up, dude? This motherfucker listens as soon as this shit drops, and he hits me up about like, what does Doug know about Warhammer? And he sent me pictures about all of his fucking. He has like 80 books or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I showed you that
God,
picture.
Yeah, send me those.
I feel like it's tough to get into a subject or a hobby that like someone else is into without it like really scratching an itch. Like I stumbled upon my hobbies. Someone was kind of doing it. I was like, oh, let me fucking give that a go. And I'm like, I like it. No, I don't like it. Guns was it for a hot minute.
How did you get into droning?
Drones, dude. Right before the pandemic, the company that I worked for was like, all right, hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. Here's a website. Go to it. You can get a gift. And it's like random stuff from like, I don't know, mugs to T-shirts and whatever, like some electronic equipment. And I saw one that was like a drone, it's like toy grade drone. And I thought, well, I've always wanted a drone, so I'm going to buy it. Or excuse me, I'm gonna order it and choose it. And I did, and I fell in love with it. But like, it was exactly that. It was a toy drone, and I quickly had fun with it, and I quickly broke it because it was like geared propellers, and so it had no automatic or no kill switch. So you had to like hold the button for 3 seconds, and in the meantime, it burned the fucking one of the propellers, the motors. And I was like, damn it! And I was like, she goes, you were really having fun with that. Like I hadn't seen you like light up like that in a while, and I was thinking about buying you another one. I was like, yeah, but let me do some research. So I did research, and upon searching what was a good drone to have, because I was like, dude, DJI drones, which is another brand you had at DJI Mavic Mini, right?
The Mini 2.
The Mini 2, which is a solid drone for like the price range, is that they're fucking expensive.
Yeah.
They're starting from like $300-400. They're fucking expensive, you know? And so like most hobbies, any hobbies, is there's like a price to pay for most of our hobbies.
Yeah,
That
you gotta
barrier
keep
to
the
entry. Yeah.
You got to keep the filthy casuals out.
And so
That paywall is definitely, will keep you out of a lot unless you're really into it and you're really going to put that time into it.
And so that being said, as I was doing research, part of the thing that I would filter in was like, what's something that's cost effective, but I can still kind of enjoy the hobby. And then I stumbled upon FPV drones. That's first person view drones. Specifically, this video that I saw was from this guy, real fucking talented pilot, Mr. Steele, and he's done some commercials and stuff like that. And I was blown away. Because as far as what I understood drones were able to do was like hover, look around, kind of fly at like 20, 30 miles per hour, and that was it. But that still blew my mind to have like an RC aerial thing. Mm-hmm. And I saw that this thing could fly in, this acrobatic 3-dimensional way, and it fucking, Rudy, it blew my mind out of the water. Like, I showed you that video before. Even you were tickled by it. And when you see me flying my drones, you're like, oh. That's why I was like, yeah, he's got the bug, and I want to hook you up with some of like my starter stuff,
It's
You're
one of
getting even my scoreboard out. Watching you do the drones, it's amazing to me.
Thank you.
I'm like, you go so high, so fast, you do all the tricks, and I'm like, I'd be terrified.
Yeah. No, and that's the other thing too, is like, so I started off with, a $40 controller, and I started off with like a, the goggles, because first person view drones is there is a camera on the drone that you pilot from, and it's not the best quality camera, and you put the goggles on and you get a live feed of what the drone sees where you pilot from. And there's a big learning curve, man, and it took
shit, don't. You just gave me the little one to start with, and it's
yeah.
Like,
Dude.
Shit, it's gone.
How? But
Isaac, help.
and when you get good at that, and I have you fly like the bigger drone.
When? That's cute.
Yeah, no, that's why like I wanted to push you to try to pilot the small one, is so that like you can have fun with the bigger drone and like get more of an itch for and get an idea, because I didn't know anybody that flew FPV drones, so I had to like really piece shit together myself. And man, I quickly fell in love with it. I still kept everything on the lower price of everything, cheaper goggles, and I would slowly upgrade when I knew that I was enjoying the stuff, and I would buy an action camera to mount on the drone so I can get some like decent HD shots, and then I would upgrade the camera. Yeah, once I broke it, but I would upgrade stuff here and there, and Alva realized that I was really in love with this, and so she would hook me up with some gear. Like for my birthday this past year in May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. She fucking surprised me with a small drone that I've been eyeballing that could fly around the house. A little micro drone. And I was like, for 10 minutes, I'm like, you got me a drone? Thank you. You got me a drone.
Was it one of those like super micros?
It's a micro ass
Yeah,
drone.
I had one of those where it's like if the AC was on, I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't fly it outside. So I have my slew of different size drones. I got micro drones. The one that I want to give you, it's like my third one, because I lost one on a bridge in Pasadena, and then managed to get it back, and I broke some other one. And so, I love, by the way, that's such a fun starter drone. It's called the Emax Tiny Hawk Freestyle 2, and it's inexpensive. I think it's $150, and it takes a fucking beating. Unlike our wives, it takes a beating really well and keeps on trucking.
Fucking horrible.
I'm sorry, in my relationship, I'm the one that gets his ass kicked.
Aww. Blink twice if you need help.
I don't step out of line.
You didn't blink twice.
I like it.
So drones I fell in love with, and it kind of reinvigorated my little amateur passion for like videography, not cinematography. I'm no photographer by any fucking means. But just recording shit and like getting cool perspectives of stuff, and having a bird's eye perspective was the coolest, most unique way to see the world. Like, I remember the first time I introduced it to you guys, it was like during one of the halftime shows for the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey guys, would it be cool if like during the halftime we can go on the street and I can kind of fly it around? Everyone's like, fucking whatever. We want to keep drinking and we want to keep partying. I'm like, okay, it'll just be a quick second. And I did. And during the whole show, I edited it. And everyone's like,
I don't appreciate that characterization.
And then Doug was like, fucking.
You fucking nerd. We're jokes.
Yeah, you start my drinking.
I remember that.
And
video.
Rachel's
That was
like,
the
hey,
most,
sweetie, I'll help you out.
video.
Was it the first time for?
Oh, that's why you cut Doug's leg. Didn't you cut Doug's leg?
Oh yeah, the Game of Thrones. I cut his leg.
That's why.
Yeah, he was
mouthing.
mouthing. Yeah, he was mouthing up. I was like, fuck this guy.
I still can't walk right.
No, the first one was a halftime one. The second was the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And so ever since,
I was like, fuck Doug, I'm aiming for him.
it reinvigorated like the whole videography thing. And so over time, and thanks to this podcast as well, I like kind of purchased a couple of like amateur stuff to help me with some videography, like stuff to like hold the phone, a cool little light, shotgun mic, and stuff like that.
JC Penny Photo Center.
Hardly, dude. Like speaking of like photography, our friend Jimmy, that guy's a fantastic photographer, and I try to like pick his brain about stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'm on the lowest level of like just above someone who takes a picture of their food, post it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, no.
But it was like I needed.
Wait, what are you saying?
What?
Because I post pictures of my food all the time.
I'm not saying nothing, Doug.
What are you fucking saying?
I'm just saying it's fucking lame ass when people post pictures of fucking
Well,
food.
no, as much as you joke about that, you're not a cinematographer. I do refer to you as the DP of our enterprise here, the director of penetration. I mean,
I was gonna
photography.
say,
Sorry,
could you expand on with it?
So the lighting and camera angles and all that other bullshit. Like I've always meant to learn, but there's always going to be a list of stuff that I want to get into, but you're there already, and you handle it very well.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Even with your very limited experience, I think you're
Yeah.
on your way to being very, very good at this.
Man, I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah,
You're on your way to staying right where you are now.
And then compliments for Isaac.
You're gonna make
Moving
me
on.
some really good fucking smut videos.
Yeah, so when you want sexy things, Doug, I'm gonna make that shit happen.
Can I do something real quick?
Yeah.
An FPV colonoscopy.
Ooh.
Where you're doing all that fancy shit, and all of a sudden it just zooms down, like you're you're face down, ass up, and it's just from there, it's like a hard zoom into your ass, and then all of a sudden it's a colonoscopy.
So rule 34.
Prostate stimulation.
There is drone porn.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure.
It exists.
Rule 35. You mentioned that in the last one by mistake. You were talking about rule 34.
What is 35?
34 is that if it exists, there's porn of it.
Yeah.
Rule 35 is if there's no porn of it, it will be made.
Really?
Like yeah.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So someday,
so bring it back.
Right now, it's probably like, there's rule 35 for hype attack.
Oh man, yeah.
Because
It's gonna have a dictionary.
I don't want to see fucking animated porn of us going at it
Speak for yourself.
for longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's no one finishing and everyone's talking over each other.
That's all it is. What are we, the fucking View? On that note, let's talk over each other as we close out this episode where we learned about everyone and their hobbies.
Did we? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. We
Yeah.
got through everyone.
Yeah,
It
we
only
did.
took us
We
2
did the
hours, but
thing.
We got it.
We did the thing.
We did a thing.
We did it.
Rudy, I'm sorry you have to edit all this.
Yeah. This is supposed to be the streamlined episode.
Yeah.
I know how.
I'm really crossing my fingers that the audio is going to at least,
Sound good.
Yeah, we have
not
to
sound good. That at least it's even, or it's not so annoying because there's, feedback and leaking between the things that it's just unlistenable.
We'll see what
Hopefully,
happens.
but we'll see. And if not, we can always throw this one away and just move on to the next one.
Yeah. I'm sure we got some good clips out of this.
This is everything we're doing is a learning experience.
Yeah.
But I think we're maintaining, we're coming together, we're making each other better.
There's never anything wrong. It's only funny. There you go. Hey guys, thank you again for listening to yet another episode of Hype Attack Podcast. Find us on all the social medias, on Instagram at the Hype Attack. I think Jermaine said you're going to start doing some more stuff on TikTok. I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put some stuff on TikTok definitely.
Hell yeah.
I do have some stuff that I need to post on our Twitter account too, because we also do have a Twitter account. X account. I don't give a Fred's Toast Crunch. It's Twitter. Twitter. Yeah. Like SpaceX. This is Twitter X. Damn it.
Are we on Threads? We should be on Threads.
Yeah, we do have Threads. Like I think I kind of loaded everything up, so
Man,
we should have everything.
I tried Threads for like 5 minutes. And was like,
I thread the shit out of my thoughts.
So follow Doug on his threads.
Yeah, Dougie Donuts. Yeah.
There you go, man. Want to hear his
I thread
thoughts.
some stuff.
If it didn't require typing, I'm sure we'll feel optimized.
But also, we have been seeing more comments pop up, and I appreciate it. And we're going to do a better effort to respond to them or bringing them up in the show. So yeah, keep it coming.
Appreciate it.
Please talk.
I love the comments with how great me and Elva are, so we're in great.
Same hi, Same hi, channel.
Hi, Patak.
He's so fucking bad.